Now let's design our next circuit. So here what we are going to do here is we are going to design a high and low voltage cutoff circuit. So this is typically used in cutoff systems that you might have seen in your home, used with along with fridge or TV. So what it will basically do is it will turn off the TV or the fridge when the voltage exceeds a certain value. For example, in a 220 volt system, we'll set it to 250 or 260, and the lower cutoff value will be set around 180, 190 or 200. You can set it to any value. So if it exceeds any of these two limits, it will turn off the appliance. So now let's see how we can build that. So as I told you, so any measuring parameter, you will have to convert it into a voltage, like a DC voltage. So now what happens here is, here our varying voltage is AC, and it is varying from, for example, let's assume that 150 volts to 300 volts. Now if we cannot give this voltage directly to the comparator, one, because it's very high, and two, it's AC. So somehow this variation from 0 to 300, let's assume that it varies from 0 to 300. If you are able to convert to 0 to, let's say, 12 volts DC. So if you are able to convert this 0 to 300 volts to 0 to 12 volts DC, then this one we can give it to a comparator and we can get the system to work. Now, how do we convert this AC to DC? So first what we have to step down from this high magnitude, what we will have to do here is we will have to use a step down transformer. So we will step it down, then to, let's say, around 18 volts. So then what we can do here is our power supply will also be derived from the same system. If you remember our power supply design, we had used a rectifier circuit and then used a capacitor and then used a regulator IC, and then we got a 12 volts DC. So now what we can do here is, now what happens here is, because of this big capacitor, it will over smoothen the DC. What we have to do here is we have to decouple this circuit using a diode and take a waveform from here, and then we will, what we will do here is we will use a RC combination. So and we'll select the value of R and C so that we will get the voltage variation here, because if we cannot take it from here, simply because this will depend on the load here and the value of this capacitor. So all these things will affect the voltage at this point. So we don't want that to happen. So we will take a, we'll put a diode here and take a tapping before this so that this capacitor or all this, the load does not come into this section where we are going to filter it out. We have to select a value of RC so that the ripples is minimum. So now let's start off with the simulation and slowly simulate one by one and check out how we can build this. Let's design in Proteus and see how it goes. We'll go step by step. New project. Okay, our supply will be a 230 volt supply. I'll put a alternator. So then to step it down, we will need a transformer. So I'll step this 220 or 230 volts to 15 volts. check out the power supply design chapter 1 before you come here, so you'll understand why we are selecting this. So 20 divided by 15, that is 14.66. And let me put to instrument, that is the AC voltmeters. So we cannot use probes here, which I have been using, because the probes is for DC. For AC it will show the instantaneous value, so it will be continuously varying. Okay, let's see what it is. So it's 50 hertz and 220 volts. Not sure if they are taking RMS or peak value. Anyway, we'll check it out. So I think they're taking peak. That is why our 220 volts is showing 155 volts RMS. Voltmeters will generally measure RMS. So let me pull out the calculator. It is 220 into root 2, that is 1.4308. Okay, it's close to 220, and output I am getting 15 volts. So after this, as we discussed earlier, we have to put a bridge rectifier. This is one of the AC's input, and this is the other AC. So let me place a resistor as load. So this theoretically this is not required to measure the waveform, but keeping it open sometimes doesn't give the correct result, because these diodes will need some kind of a current for it to forward bias. If there is no current, it will not get forward biased. Let me keep a ground. This should have the, this should be the positive, and this is the negative. So let's simulate. I'll put an oscilloscope here. See what is the waveform. So we have a full wave rectified output. So I'll do a tutorial on oscilloscope. So before that, let me put it to ground, all of them to ground, and align all the waveforms so that we can see how the waveform changes. So basically now what I am doing is I am setting all of them to the same y-axis, that is 0 line. And always put a scope to DC. I will explain it to you when I do the tutorial, why you have to put it in DC and what will happen when you put it to AC. Okay, now this is the full wave rectifier output. Okay, now let me add a capacitor. As we had talked about, for filtering 1 amps AC, I will need approximately 1000 microfarad. So in the slide we had put a diode here. So if we don't put the diode, what will happen is the diode, the bridge output voltage and the capacitor voltage will become the same. So this is the same line. So what happens is we can no more see the bridge rectifier output. So what I'll do here is delete it. I'll put a diode. Before the diode and one after the diode. Now you can see before the diode it is a full wave rectifier, and after the diode, because of the capacitor, you have a DC. Let's see what is the voltage. So it is 18 volts or 19 volts. Basically what will happen is we have set this to around 15 volts. So this capacitor will get charged to 15 into root 2. And now let's build off the, it is still not regulated. So let's put a regulator IC 7812. I'll build my circuit for a 12 volt logic. So I'll put a 7812. And one more capacitor. Let me put a load. Put a 50 ohm load. So here we are expecting a 12 volts DC waveform. See, you are getting around 12 volts, 11.997 volts. Okay, let's stop the simulation. Okay, now for sensing I can tap it from this point, but then what happens is the voltage at this point depends upon the load. So if as the load varies, what will happen is this waveform, the rectified waveform, will change. At a lighter load it will be a flat line, and when the load becomes higher, you can see ripples. But my sensing voltage, what we talked about, I don't want it to be dependent on anything on the load. It has to be independent. For the sensing voltage, we will have a separate RC network which will reflect the 0 to 220 volt variation or 280 volt variation in 0 to 12 volt DC variation. So let's have a separate RC network. There is a capacitor, we have a ground, let me connect it before the diode. So what should be the value of RC? Let me start the simulation. So the value of RC should be such that the voltage across this capacitor C3 should not get discharged in this one cycle. So basically what happens, the C will get charged when the voltage builds up. When the voltage starts decreasing, the C will start discharging. So in this 10 milliseconds, so from this peak to peak is 10 milliseconds. So we should design the value of RC such that in this 10 millisecond, the capacitor should not discharge. So it should maintain whatever is the peak voltage. So for that, the time constant, the discharge time constant for the RC network is tau, which is RC. So if you put something like 5 times RC, the capacitor will not get discharged. So let's do that. So 5 times RC, let me make it 50k. Let's calculate what will happen if I put 50k. That is, RC will be 50 into capacitor into 1 divided by, that's around 50 millisecond. So the capacitor will discharge in 50 millisecond completely. So our is 10 milliseconds. So this is 5 times the RC time constant. So this should be fine. So let's check out the voltage also here once. If we start the simulation, you see it has little bit ripple but very less ripple. So in your when you are tuning it, which will come into later, if you see that this ripple is too much, you can slightly increase the value of the capacitor or value of resistor. So generally increasing the value of resistor is easy, like it will not cost you much. Going up the value of capacitor is bit expensive, so it's always better to go value of capacitor, and 50 is not a standard resistor, it's either 47 or 56. Let's go for 56k. So now we have a DC voltage at this point, which will reflect or which is proportional to the AC input voltage. So we should not select a very high value of capacitor. I can put like 100 microfarad. For example, let me put 100 microfarad. So what happens is this capacitor will take a long time for the voltage to build up. You can see it in the simulation. See, the capacitor is building up slowly. So basically what will happen is your sensing has become slow. So the voltage rise in the sensing circuit has become slow. So in your application, what happened? Let's assume it is 230 volts. Suddenly 250 volts came. So this will take about 3 or 4 or 5 seconds for it to sense that there is a high voltage. By that time, your equipment will fail. So we should not select a very high value of C. So nor should we select a very low value of C or RC. So if you have a very low value of C, what will happen is you will have a ripple. So it's almost like following the rectifier output pin. So there will be too much ripple. So we will not be use a comparator to compare this voltage. So 5 time RC is a good value to go with. So if you see here, just it came up instantly, like within a second or a fraction of a second, it has come up. Let me put a voltage probe here and see what is the DC voltage. So it is around 11.6 volts. So my op amp or the comparator which I am going to use is will be working at the supply voltage, that is 12 volts, and this is just too close to that voltage. So once I increase the voltage, I think now the voltage is set to around 220 volts. This will go above 12. I don't want this to happen. So what I want is, if my op amp is at 0 to 12 volts, I want the reference or this variable voltage to be somewhere in the middle. So what I'll do here is I'll put a potential divider. Okay, and the value of this potential resistor should be such that this should not affect this RC characteristic. So if I put 10k, it is definitely going to affect this RC characteristics. We can simulate it and see. So view, output has become lower. So this resistor is affecting these potential divider is affecting the value of this RC time constant. So I'll increase it so that this becomes negligible. I can go to 1 meg. or 2 meg. So this resistor will not have any effect on this RC time constant. Let me put a voltage probe here also. Okay, so now this is at 5.6 volts, that is around halfway mark of the, or 0 to 12 volts, that is good. Now this voltage we are going to give it to the comparator and compare it with the reference voltage and take the action. So let's note down our two important points: high voltage cutoff, let's keep it at 260 volts. Let's keep it at 180 volts. So what is the sensing voltage at 260 volts? 260 volts is nothing but, so in the alternator I have to enter peak voltage. It is 260 into 1.4, it is 364. 364. For 180 I have to enter 252, because the alternator is we have to enter the peak voltage for 260 at, so 364. So this voltage is 6.85. 6.85 and this is 252. This is 4.5. Okay. So now the reference I have to give 6.85 and 4.25 to the op amp. Practically you will have to use a pot, but in the previous example we saw that the pot was not very useful because the variation I was not able to fine tune it. So I can either use a voltage source or a potential divider. So let's first do it for high voltage, that is 6.85, one of the comparator at higher voltages. So LM358. LM358. So let's set up this comparator so that my output is high when my voltage is below 260 volts. So this output should go high if my voltage is below 260. High voltage, that output should go high if input voltage is below, or sense is below 0.85. So this is the logic which I want. So this to the negative. So I'm going to use a voltage source, but practically we will be using a pot. But in Proteus I'm not going to get this fine variation while changing the pot. So I'll directly use a voltage source and I'll set it to 6.85. And I'll give it to this, and to know the output I'll put a LED. So in Proteus, for the LED you don't have to put a resistor, but practically we'll have to use a resistor or the LED will fail. Check out the LED chapter once to know why we need a resistor and what should be this resistor value. Now we have to give 12 volts to the IC. Let me bring this 12 volts from here. So let's simulate and see what happens. So my voltage is around 180 volts, which is way less than the cutoff voltage, that is 260, which we have designed it for. So now let me put to a voltage that is higher than 260. So that is peak should be greater than 364. Let me put it to around 380. So now this LED should not turn on. Let's see. It has not turned on. So that's good. So this is a high voltage cutoff. So if you want only a high voltage cutoff, you can directly use this. What we have to do is let's assemble the remaining circuit also. If you want only a high voltage cutoff, component, relay, so this op amp output cannot directly turn on a relay, so generally we will use a transistor. So NPN transistor will be BC547 NPN transistor. This is generally which I use for relay operation. Then one more resistor. Base needs a resistor. Again, check out the transistor chapter once before coming here. So you will understand why we need a base resistor. What should be the value of this base resistor? So I'll just put it to 1K. This relay, let me connect it to this 12 volt, and to the relay practically you will be connecting your appliance, that is a fridge or a washing machine or any electronic device. So I'll just put a bulb. And we will connect it to 230 volts. This is a 12 volts bulb. Let's put another alternator. This ideal scenario. So this bulb is not going to fail. So I'll put around 220 again. This let me put around 300 volts peak, 50 hertz. I'll put it to normally open one. So when only if this relay is on, your appliance will get the power. So right now your appliance is off because your voltage is higher than your set value, that is 260. So if I reduce this to between anything less than 260, so let's just let me put it to 300 volts peak, your relay will turn on and your appliance will work. So this is if you only want a high voltage cutoff, this will do. But again, at this point of which is very close to this, there will be some chattering, so you should use a hysteresis or provide a capacitor. So I would prefer using hysteresis here. So I've explained you about hysteresis. You can design a circuit for hysteresis with this. Okay, now this is high voltage cutoff. So now let's build a low voltage cutoff. Component LM358. Again, power supply to this. This should actually work because without the power supply, because these two are the same package. Yeah, I'll connect it. So here my logic will be low voltage output should go high if input voltage is above 180, that is voltage is above 4.52. So this is here one is going high below 260 and this is going above 180. So there's a flip in the logic. So here it should go to the positive and I have to give the reference to the negative. Generator VDC, I have to set it to 4.52. I'll set the reference. Let me put a LED also. Here, this is here. Connected to ground. So let's start the simulation. It's giving me some error. Time step too small. Let me see how I can fix this. Okay, it took me a long time to figure out what the issue was. So what I did was I thought maybe it's a. So I restart the system and re-rig the circuit, but the same again error is still coming that transient G means step at some time. It's like it's happening at the startup. So as soon as you give the power, it is happening. So I thought that that is when this is powering up, still my voltage has not built up, and during that initial transient state it was not able to simulate it. So what I did was instead of using this power supply to power up our circuit, I'm going to put a generator and give a 12 volts sine, 12 volts DC. Let me break this connection and start it. Yeah, it's working. So I think what was happening was when this op amp was not still powered on properly, because this will take some time to build up, few milliseconds or hundreds of milliseconds for it to build up. During that time something was happening with the simulation and it was not able to do that one. So I have connected this directly to the 12 volt supply. So my op amp is driven directly. So my op amp is on as soon as the simulation starts and it is able to do it. Okay, this should not happen to you practically when you are doing it. Something to do with the simulation of Proteus. Okay, now let's see. So we have already checked the high voltage and this was for the low voltage. Now the input voltage I have given 354. It is definitely more than the lower voltage. So this is high. And this is above the upper cutoff voltage. So this is low. So let me take it to a middle voltage. So if you see, remember our sheet, between 250 and 364, let me put 300. Both of them are on. I go below 180, that is below 250, go to 200, start it. The lower one has not still on, so let me check what is happening. You see what I have set this to 4.52. 4.52. No, this is coming at 4.6. So let us recalculate what is this reference voltage once again. That has changed because of adding this op amp. It should not have changed. Not sure why. But generally, the input resistance of the op amp is extremely high. It should not have changed. It has changed. That's okay. So practically, we will be using a pot, so we can tune it after rigging up the full circuit. Let me just change it to the higher one, that is 364. This voltage is 6.28, so 6.3. Then for the lower one, we need 252. This is a peak voltage. This is now 5.13. 5.13. I have to set this to 5.13 and this to, sorry, this is a lower voltage. This one I have to set to 5.13, the upper cutoff to 6.3. So now let's check. It should work now. So let's check at a lower voltage of, for example, 230. Yeah, the lower cutoff section is off because it is set than, it is lower than the our set voltage, that is 180. So checking once in the middle, it is let's put it 300. Both should be on. That's good. Then check the higher one, that is put it to 400. Yeah. So now the lower one is on because it's greater than 180, and the higher cutoff section stop has turned off because this is greater than 280 or 260 that we have set. So now if you are only using lower cutoff, what you could do here was give this one to this base transistor and this would operate. Now what we have to do is, since we are using upper and lower cutoff both, we should only operate this relay only if both of them are on. So what we can do here is, so negative, anyway we are using this transistor from the lower cutoff to control this. I'll use a PNP transistor on the top, which I will control from the upper cutoff, lower cutoff voltage. So let me do this. So let me disconnect this, put a PNP transistor. BC557 is a PNP transistor. Okay, you should check out the transistor chapter once to know how to use a PNP transistor. So collector will go to the load, emitter will go to the supply, that is 12 volts, then you need a base resistor. So now there is a logic issue here. So this transistor will turn on when this, the emitter base junction is forward bias. Basically, if I give 0 volts here, this transistor will turn on. If I give 12 volts here in the base, at this point in the resistor, this transistor will turn off. So now, as per our logic, now this will go high when it is a valid signal. So I have to flip this. To flip this logic, what I will do here is, I will just flip 5 and 6. In a way it is good because to provide hysteresis, my reference should be at the positive terminal. Let me delete. Let me move this here. To 84, this is off. That is what we are expecting. Now if we put to a middle, I'm sorry, if I use this, if I use 300 volts, which is in the safe region, this relay should turn on. Yeah, this relay should turn on. So if I go below the lower cutoff voltage, let me go 200, this relay is still off. That is because it is below the lower value, and since we switched the logic here, this is turning off this transistor. Hope you were able to understand that. Now there is a couple more things that you have to do to completely convert it into a product. One is you have to put a pot and provide hysteresis, or at that point there will be a lot of chattering. The relay will turn on and off continuously at the point. So providing hysteresis from the previous example, you can completely avoid that. The second one is, if you notice this, see now it is off because it is greater than 260 volts. But see at what happens at the transient. It turns on for a second, then turns off. So this should not happen. So you have to use a timer. So you can use a triple while timer, so that once you get a proper signal, only after 5 seconds or something, you should turn on the relay. You should not immediately turn on the relay. So you can see in practically in your cutoff systems in your house, you will have this actually. Once the power comes, it will not turn on instantaneously. It will take about 5 seconds. So similarly, you will also have to put a 555 timer to get that delay.